Hello everyone, Zelleranth here, and some exciting news has just come out. They have finally, it seems like it's been a little late this time, but the next unit for Girls Frontline 2 has now been announced for the global release, and that is Centaureissi. It is the one that was rumored to be coming next, and with that being proven to be correct, it's a very good thing to predict. Like, even without leaks or any of that, I was predicting Ceresi was going to be coming up very soon just because getting that extra unit in there. But it kind of is starting to lead in that direction. If that's correct, maybe the next unit that everybody's saying was coming after her, Cluke, could very well be coming next after Centaureissi. So that's something to be taking into consideration. But for now, we're going to take a look at Centaureissi's little video here. It's a little 2-minute video, kind of give my reaction to that, and then give some quick thoughts on her. And I'll go way more in depth into her tomorrow. And then we'll kind of see as the events and stuff get announced on that. We'll go over those things. This is just a quick video letting everybody know that she has been announced. So let's go ahead and take a look at her video. Let me make sure that this isn't too loud. Yep, okay. It looks to be fine. Maybe a little low, but... Now, we've already seen Centaureissi with the Springfield and Macchiato and Charcuterie, so she's in that cafe with that group, so she's in that general area. So we may be seeing them show up again within her event story. I have not looked ahead in what happens in the story relating to CN, so it'll all be new to me. So Springfield's heading out. So Centaureissi's on her own. Okay, maybe everybody else will be out and she'll be on her own for this event. We'll have to see. And her gun. I will say with regards to her gun, it's another nice thing about her. Is it's not going to be necessary at all to get her weapon if you're one of those people. When it comes to the burn team, you have better weapons in the future coming up, like vectors, if you want to pull a person's weapon. Definitely will not be pulling hers. And that's not to say that it's bad, it's just completely unnecessary, I find. But we'll go more into depth on that later. Just gotta take care of this cafe we already seen had a bunch of issues in Macchiato's story, at least in the area. And so now it's under attack from more. But yep, support Centaureissi. She is a sustain. She is the core sustain of the burn team coming up here. And actually, is there more to this? I believe there's our little chunk here at the end. Oh yeah, it's just showing one of her little things in here. She will be your personal maid waifu if you decide to get her. But yeah, that is Centaureissi. Definitely a unit that I was talking up a lot before this, before she was coming out, because she was originally rumored to be coming after Macchiato. After Diane, it was thought to be Centaureissi be coming next. But it did sound like that she was going to, but they changed things up potentially because of story rewrites. So we'll have to kind of see how that works. But she is a unit that I'm excited for, that I was going to pull, regardless of the fact that I'm pulling for every single unit, because I want to get every single one of them. If I was actually saving, she is one that I would definitely want to pull, because I really like the burn team. And we'll take a very quick look at the pros and cons of her. I will tomorrow I'm going to go into more in depth on her, and I'll make a new prioritization on unit pulls and all that with guarding her, whether she's going to be a skip now, pull later type deal and all that. Because one thing that I really haven't dealt with in some of my videos that I plan to kind of do in the future is we have a predictable schedule of reruns, with the first rerun basically being after, I think it's 4 banners for English now, because I believe Allred is supposed to, and it hasn't been announced yet, but it's highly likely that the rerun's going to be Allred on this banner. And if that's the case, we're technically, our reruns are one behind what CN was, which I think means every 4 banners. We're going to see the new character, which that means if you skip her now, you know for a fact, or very, very, very likely, she'll come up in 4 banners, and you can pull her there. And then you have the or the second rerun, which is going to be very predictable. It's not predictable on when it's coming, but it is predictable, at least on the CN side, if we follow how CN's doing it. It'll be predictable in that we will get the second rerun when she gets her expansion key. And the expansion key is going to be the big thing that really kind of makes her a core member of the burn team. As when we go into depth with her tomorrow, you'll kind of see that a lot, and you're going to see this with a lot of other content creators, because pretty much everybody's going to say that she's a skip because of the rumors that Clue K is coming after her. I'm going to go more into detail on that because there's a lot of nuance to it to me. But the big thing with her, if she is going to be a skip for you, I believe she will be a skip for now. And then when she reruns with her expansion key, that is when you pull her, because her expansion key is what brings her over the top. And we can just take that quick look at the pro and cons on her to kind of get an idea of why. So first thing is she's an extremely good healer. All of her skills have some form of healing of allies. You have thermal recovery, which gives heals to allies. She does do action support, which you know you like with the burn team, with QJ, Sharkery, all those action supports. And we'll look at a video that has her right now in CN where the burn team is just annihilating stuff, especially if there's single target damage. And then she has powerful buffs like Flame Assault 2 and Damage Increase 2 on her V1. There is a big negative with that, though. She does apply Overburn. Overburn's great. The entire burn team takes advantage of that debuff in some capacity. Now, with a lot of people like myself and then other people in the future, QJ V3 will be putting out an Overburn on everything. So I don't know how valuable it comes out of her when now QJ pretty easily, for most people, can do it. If you pull for her dupes, you should have a V3 QJ within a couple months. If you're constantly doing it with your standard pulls. So I don't know how valuable you would say that is on Ceresi right now if you have that. Then you have overflowing, or you have overburn on her skill, like it says there, and then heals allies and dispels buffs on the enemy. Her ultimate has global healing. Great. We already know how well Suomi's global healing with her V1 is. Her Centaureisi's is even better than it in terms of healing. Then we have it doesn't perform well in non-burn teams. Yes, she does not perform better in non-burn teams. Like I just compared her to Suomi. If you're wanting a generic sustain, meaning a sustain that you put in any team, Suomi's better than Centaureisi. Like hands down, way better than Centaureisi as a sustain. So if you haven't pulled Suomi, you should pull her right now while she's on banner, because Centaureisi is not going to be the better general sustain for your team. She is for the burn team. So that's kind of her biggest negative, is that she doesn't have shields. One, she's just a healer in that capacity. She's not your generic healer. You play her with the burn team, and that's kind of the biggest thing. But that's thinking from a meta standpoint. If you like her, which I do like her for her character and personality as well. I mean, she's got good enough sustain. I mean, you don't need Suomi to be your sustain. You don't even need sustain that much. So if you like her for that reason, just pull her. I mean, she's going to be great as your general sustain if you just want her as your general sustain versus using Suomi. Definitely a reason to get her. Ultimate consumes all of her CG points, and the only way for her to recover them is through her passive, and it's only triggered once every 3 turns, or makes it where you can only trigger it every 3 turns. Her S1 prioritizes distance versus HP and stability when healing targets. It could be detrimental if the nearest ally does not need healing. Basically, she heals based on where the characters are in relation to her, so it's going to be positioning is very important with her. Doesn't heal as much stability as Colfine. I mean, you shouldn't be using Colfine at this point anyway to really have her to compare against. Not worth it. I mean, stability healing from Colfine's not worth losing the other stuff that she provides. But the big negative, and this is the reason I'm going to say she's a unit you don't get dupes for, and we'll go more into that tomorrow. Her V1, while it sounds good on paper, for someone like QJ, it only counts for one of her support actions because it's 1 turn or 1 action. So after QJ does 1 action, that buff goes away from her V1. Absolutely not worth using a pull to get additional copies of her, and we'll go into that later. And nothing too crazy with her weapon or any of that. But yeah, that's just a quick look at Centaureissi. She is coming next. I'm quite excited. I will be pulling for her, and we'll kind of see where it goes from here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I expect to have my next video out for her actually early in the morning, or in the morning tomorrow, or maybe early afternoon. And then depending on other announcements they have, because I'm going to guess they're going to announce Ulrid coming back. So I'll probably go into depth with her a little bit more now that she's rerunning, because I didn't really talk about her too much when the game released, because she was a very easy pull Suomi at the beginning of the game, so Ulrid kind of got overlooked. So I will discuss Ulrid a little bit more now that she's rerunning and she's kind of separate from the Suomi situation. Everybody has their Suomis now, has had time to get more pulls, so we'll go with her. And then whatever other little events and stuff get announced, I'll make videos on those as they come out. But yeah, quite a good time here. Ready for her to come out. I was kind of waiting. It took quite a bit, but yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like my content, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.